So what is flash fiction? I think the best way to really learn about what it is to hear a bunch of it. And that's what you're going to get to do tonight. Some of the stories will be 30 seconds, some will be 2 or 3 minutes long. But it's very, very short stories that are complete. They often sort of expand a moment in time or shrink a moment in time. So you'll see how the different students and the different grades have been working with that as the stories progress throughout the evening. My favorite definition of flash fiction is a quote, and it says, "You get 500 words, there's a big pen in the kitty litter, figure it out." And that's kind of the spirit with which I approached this. Most of these students, we had about 4 sessions that were 40 minutes long together, some a little more, some a little bit less. And within that time period, they polished at least one piece into a rough draft, and they started 3 or 4 more stories, and they've chosen one to share tonight. The readers that are here this evening were selected for their effort, and most of all, their imagination, their use of sensory detail and similes. We didn't focus on conventions. I didn't grade work. We're just here to celebrate what they've created, and I thank you so much for coming.
I looked up at the building, and then at my friend Jasmine. "Do you really want to do this?" she asked, making her famous frowny pouty face at me. I looked up at the building again. The shingles gleamed gold and red. In the sunlight, the building looked as if the sun had landed on Earth. People thought of all sorts of strange things that the place may be. An abandoned palace, a hotel, even a wicked place where evil spirits practiced their doings. It seemed to reach as high as the tallest treetop, going up, up, up. The many windows were dusty with bronze-colored shades. The door glowed bright red, surrounded by ancient Chinese symbols. The building had no lawn, only gray steps leading up to the door. I could smell the fresh meat from the butchery, almost a block away, but it didn't cover up the musty smell that lingered around the place. I could hear the buzz from the huge city, Shanghai, 2 miles away, yet the building itself seemed enclosed in an eerie silence. I felt a slight breeze on my back and jumped. I whipped around, but I only saw Jasmine, staring at me with frightened eyes. I couldn't whip out on this one. Jasmine and I had already told everyone that we would find out what really lay behind the doors of the building. I looked at Jasmine. "You bet," I said. I took a deep breath, walked across the sidewalk, up the steps. I reached out for the doorknob, twisted it, and opened the door.
A true friend. It was a normal day in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, as the neighborhood kids played soccer in the streets. All except for one little boy named Joey, who became handicapped from being hit by a car. He sat in his room looking down from his window. Joey had only one leg and no friends. As he made his way down to the entrance of his building, he heard all the other kids laughing and playing. Out the door he went. He smelled the smell of fresh air for the first time in a long time. He asked one boy if he could play. He said, "No, slowpoke, you can't even stand." Joey knew he would say no. He had not played games in forever. That's why he always stayed in his room. When he was reeling over to the door he came from, he saw a girl, all alone, crying. He rolled over to her. As he got closer and closer, he noticed she only had one hand. He asked, "What's wrong?" The girl quickly looked up. She asked, "Who are you?" "My name is Joey." "And you?" he replied. "I'm Lizzie Lou." While Joey comforted her, she beamed like a golden sun shining on a piece of polished gold. All because Joey asked her to be his friend. He felt in his heart she needed a friend. They became friends and were always content in each other's company. All of the other kids wanted to know what the secret was to always staying happy with their friends. Well, the secret was simple. Life gives you time. How you choose to fill it is your choice. Joey and Lizzie Lou chose to fill it with happiness and thankfulness for one another. They stayed true friends forever, and soon everyone wanted to be their friend so they could be happy too. Joey and Lizzie Lou enthusiastically shared the secret that time is a blessing. It's up to you to use it wisely.
Blackbirds taunted me as they flew overhead. I wanted to fly away from life and worries so much, tears started to sting my eyes. The swaying grass around me matched the beats of their wings. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. I closed my eyes and felt the ice-cold ground beneath my feet. My eyes opened to see the birds, once so close, disappearing in the dark horizon. Gone, gone, gone. Like the wispy clouds above them, the birds flew south, the place I can't go, the place to which I can't return.